Hello and welcome to another episode of Product and Cake. Here with me in the virtual recording studio is Ghonche. How are you today?
Hello, I'm good, Paul. How are you doing?
I'm also good, surfing the wave of getting a cold, but I'm still standing.
Surfing in this weather?
Yeah, that's why I'm close to getting a cold.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is how you live with family, I would say. It is so
Everyone
great to see you.
in your family? Or?
No, nobody is sick, but we are all very, very close to become sick. And it's always thrilling this time of the year. But we will continue with our season 3. It is about how to become a product manager, or what to look at if you are a founder, a product manager, somehow working with product or tech people. And before we dive into the topic of today, I want to give you a check-in question. Yes. This time it is not only an answer, because Ghonche, I want you to show us something in your space that you really like.
Okay. So from this area, question. Is it space related or is it an item? Like, can it be an item?
It can be an item. Whatever is in your reach, I would say.
I wish they were our sponsors, but unfortunately not. Maybe one day. It's this pen.
Uh-huh. It's an ordinary pen, or sorry?
It's from Muji, the brand Muji. Mm-hmm. It's a Japanese brand, I believe, and it's the 0.3 centimeter size. So it's a really fine tip, and I love this pen so much. This is the best pen. It writes very smoothly. It is very easy to control. So it's not those ones that just write for you. It's like you can control it.
Like the AI.
Yeah. Yeah. And the tip size is perfect. It's really nice and narrow, and it kind of makes my handwriting better. It's beautiful. Ooh. And I love it so much. And this is the pen for me, that in order to avoid any issues, because if I don't have this pen, I cannot write. I feel that something like it's bad, Paul. It's really bad. I need this pen.
Sounds dangerous.
Like, yeah, I canceled meetings because I didn't have the pen.
Do you have multiple ones at least in your desk?
Okay. I bought 10. Oops. I bought at least 10. So I have always 9 extra ones.
Mm-hmm.
So in case I misplace one, in case something happens, in case someone borrows it and I forget to take it back, I have more.
Okay.
Best pen. But also, I recently ordered a plotter notebook. I should send you the link. And that is also a Japanese brand. And I think these two will go perfectly with each other. Oh, I cannot wait.
Nice. Yeah, send me the link. I'm looking forward to check that out. Next time when we meet in our physical recording studio, then I hope I can try it.
Yes, I will give you that. And what about you? What's in your space that you love so much?
What I really like is this one thing, because I'm a fan of our icebreaker discovery ship. It's called FS Polarstern, and they did a fantastic mission to freeze into the ice in the North Pole and then go with the ice for around 8 months. And yeah, I'm super
fascinated. When you said icebreaker discovery, I was like, yeah, we always have an icebreaker in the beginning of meetings. So you have something called icebreaker discovery ship.
Maybe that is called also differently in the real world. But yeah, you're right. I really like icebreaker questions, but I also like icebreaker ships. What does that tell about me? And the nice thing I really like is this one, because I found the operating manual on how to prepare an expedition with that ship. Ein Leitfaden zur Planung und Durchführung von Expeditionen mit FS Polarstern. And it just contains everything.
Are you going on an expedition?
Most likely not, but it has photos. It has a lot of technical drawings of this ship.
That's really cool.
It says which machines are inside and so on and so forth.
That's really cool.
I have these plans. And then from time to time, when everything gets a little bit overwhelming here in the virtual space, then I took 5 minutes and read through it and imagine that I one day will join a mission there.
I think you can even book some kind of these expeditions.
Yeah, you can book that as a tourist attraction, but this is a real science ship. They don't have tourists on board, unfortunately. Yeah, but it's a very great thing. And you know what? If you want to do these kind of missions, you need a proper planning. And for having a planning, it makes so much sense. Or I would like to know from you if it makes sense to set up a roadmap.
Yes.
Because that is the topic for today.
Great transition. Yeah, of course. So I am and I'm not a fan of roadmaps. So I am a fan of roadmaps if they're done well, but unfortunately I've seen so many bad roadmaps that it broke my heart.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, but I am a big fan of the now, next, later format, which we chatted quickly, Paul. You're also a big fan of it. Any particular reason you like it so much?
I thought we revealed that in the end of this podcast, so everybody got this aha moment. But we can also do it right now because I share your feelings. I saw so many roadmaps that were communicated, they were created with a lot of effort, and it maybe makes sense if you build a house or you do an expedition with that ship, right? Because you have this one dedicated day where the ship will go in the direction of the North Pole and is not coming back for 8 months. So they have to happen some things before that. But we are not at these kind of projects, right? We are living in the product tech world, and this product tech world has to be agile because it is changing constantly. Everything you are doing is related to software, and software is constantly changing and depending on each other. So it creates side effects, and you can't control all of that. And in addition, your stakeholders most of the times don't have an exact idea of what they need. And when they see it, the brain starts to work and they come up with new ideas and new stuff. And that is fine. And that makes our products better. But you can't promise to deliver a certain feature in 8 months. That's just not reality.
Yeah. I completely agree. And I think a couple of issues that I have with roadmaps is people take it as it is set in stone. And well, you said beginning of the year that in January, in December, you're going to deliver this, and where is it? And like, you need to change. Hey, things change. When we shared this in January, that was a thought then. It's not anymore valid. So roadmap needs to be updated. And that's why that is not anymore. And then they're like, that is a change of plans. And like, no, it is a change of plans, but that plan was never in the first place set in stone. Also, the level of details that is required is going to be different. So when we know something that we need to do, so similar to eating, like, you know, probably what you're going to have for your next meal. Like if you are making dinner, you know probably what you are going to have for dinner. You know probably tomorrow you are gonna, based on what's in your fridge, you probably have some stuff left over. You have maybe a couple of salad, a cucumber. So you probably know a little bit better what you're gonna have next day based on what's in your fridge. But a month from now, 2 months from now, it is very unlikely that you can set exactly what you're going to have. Yes, you can meal prep, you can plan your meals as well. But if the supermarket does not have that item anymore, or if the prices of that item went up 2 times, you probably are going to change your decision and make something else, even if you do the meal prep beforehand. So it is very similar. So you know exactly your next moves, you know your immediate moves. You have a little bit of a vague idea and understanding based on everything that is going to happen, your next steps as well. So not exactly now, but the ones after these things that you're working on are done. And then the things are a bit later than that. It gets fuzzier and fuzzier. The more we're looking into the time, it gets fuzzier and fuzzier. And those are the later piles, which you know about them. If everything goes according to the plan, if everything in the world stays as you predicted, then yes, probably that roadmap is going to stay the same way. But it is very unlikely. So it is extremely important to set this precedent to everyone receiving the roadmap that, hey, this is not set in stone. We will divide it in now, next, later. The accuracy of the now part is about 90%. The next part are about like 70 to 80% max, 60 to 80% maybe. And then the later ones is probably 30 to 50% accurate. So yes, things might change in the world, and we need to accept that.
Yeah, and you need to control the items in each of that pillars or in each of that buckets, because you don't want to promise more things in the now bucket than in the next and later ones. So I like to have this really like a pyramid. You have one or two things you can promise, okay, they will be there most likely in the next few days or weeks. Also make absolutely clear and transparent. Are you talking about which time spans you are talking? And then there's more in next, and then there's a lot of things in later, right? Yeah. But I would also vote heavily for not confusing the later bucket with your backlog, because you can't put all the ideas and all the requests in the later column and then say, they are there for forever.
For later.
Because for later. Because then they have no value anymore.
Yeah.
And if you remove some items for good reasons, then you should also communicate that with the people they are depending on you, right? If your sales colleague or basically to stay in your picture, if I invited some friends to our nice dinner in 2 weeks and then we are removing the meal preparation completely, for example, then there are external dependencies. And and also the dependencies most of the times are flexible, right? So your friends are saying, I expected this, but now you have something else. Then explain why and give a few good arguments. And then in 95% of situations, that is fine, right? And this is much better than promising a 12-month. Oh, now I lost Ghonche. There you are, back. Yeah, nice. So that is also much better to promise an 8-month meal prep schedule and then not meeting one of them, right?
Exactly. And what is also I want to add on top, and I think we need to make it very apparent, is the details are missing in a roadmap and the complexity of the situation is forgotten. So if you just put something in the roadmap that this will take 3 weeks or this is going to happen in January 2025 and it will take 3 weeks, who is it going to take these 3 weeks? Is it 3 weeks from the PM? Is it 3 weeks from the designer? Is it 3 weeks from the dev? Is it 3 weeks from all of them? Are they all going to start the work at the same time? Or no, there needs to be a pre-work for the PM for 2 weeks before that and then 3 weeks for the devs. How many devs are going to be involved? Is it just one dev that needs to be, the capacity of that dev needs to be involved in that topic, or no, like all 6 devs in your team needs to be involved in that topic? So all of these things are things that we don't take a look at when we are building roadmaps. You're just saying, it takes 2 weeks, this one, 5 weeks, but we don't look at all of our capacity. And some of our capacities are shared capacity. So marketing efforts. Is a marketing effort needed for this feature that you are going to launch? Is any other team also requires marketing efforts during the same time? So that's why I'm not the biggest fan of roadmaps. I do think these can be cleared up much better with alignment when we have something like goals, when we have something like OKRs even, and roadmap can be next to that, but again, taken with a pinch of salt.
And also, don't run into the error, into the failure I did when you are working in a project or working in an agency for a customer, no matter, and someone is stepping by and say, hey, product manager, I need a roadmap now, the customer or the other departments required, right? And then you are, oh, damn it, I copy paste some backlog items, put them in a line, and here, this is the roadmap. Or you take our fantastic suggestion and put them in buckets like now, next, later. Mm-hmm. You did it, you send it, and then forget it. That is the biggest mistake you can do, right? If you are really forced for whatever reason to deliver a roadmap, make sure that you incorporate this roadmap in your daily habits, right? And make that a tool you are working with, right? Like every Monday in the weekly with the team together, take a look on the roadmap, say, hey, this is now, next, and later. These things have changed, and make that a real value for your team. Because if it is some additional extra effort you need to do to fulfill some strange requests from the side, I would always suggest to find out why these questions, why someone needs a roadmap from you. So what are their real needs on that? And maybe you are working with Scrum or Kanban already, or whatever you do to manage your work. And if you understand why this roadmap was required from you, you maybe have a much, much better answer that is fitting to your ways of working. And it definitely makes sense to investigate that.
Yeah. And again, we said a lot of things against roadmap. I need to say that a roadmap is a plan at the end of the day. It's just a plan that is focusing our product efforts to achieve business goals. So one thing is extremely important next to each item in the roadmap is why is it there and why is it that time there? Why is it not earlier? Why is it not later? Why is it important that this thing is done at that time? So as long as the now part of the roadmap is very clear to you, is very clear to the rest of the stakeholders, and it's very clear to the people who are impacted by it, that is good to go in my perspective.
Yeah, I agree. And I want to throw in my most favorite quote. The plan is nothing and planning is everything. Mm-hmm. Right? And the plan will change. That's why you have this buckets now, next, and later. And the items are allowed to move, but you need to align, as you said, Ghonche, you need to align with the other functions and departments or teammates, whoever. Make sure you know who is depending, who talked with you about this certain item, who do you need to call. With our ticket systems or whatever tool you are using, it is so easy to add a note there. And this is basically your job, right? Bringing somehow an order into the chaos, and then in the end, call it roadmap or agile or Kanban board. Just make sure that you have something to talk about and everybody is using it and understanding it.
Exactly.
And then you could also even call it roadmap. And then you have this check mark there.
Yes. But with the asterisk that nothing here is set in stone, things will change. And this is not showing the true complexity of the work that actually needs to be done.
Yeah, true. So nice icing. I hope we inspired you and tickled your brain a little bit. And you are subscribing and recommending our podcast to everyone you know.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.